Over the past few years, I have been very impressed with the watches that are coming out of the Citizen Group. Today, we're going to take a look at Alpina. It is their dive watch, the Seastrong, a really great name for a dive watch. It's a 300-meter dive watch made out of stainless steel with recycled materials. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the Seastrong from Alpina. So here it is. This is the Alpina Seastrong, and I have to say, Seastrong is probably one of the best names for a dive watch that I have ever heard. This is made with recycled materials. Not only is the strap made out of recycled materials, but the case is as well recycled stainless steel. This gets 300 meters of water resistance, and it has a very interesting case. So it's not your run-of-the-mill Submariner style case or 50 Fathoms style case. This is a case that's been around for a while. It's really their own design. It's sort of a cushion case, I would call it. And you have these little areas that are sort of higher than the rest of the case, and you have a beveled edge along each one of those. It's a little bit more pronounced on this side. As you can see, it's brushed on the top, then you have a beveled edge all the way around, and then it's polished on the sides of the case. So it adds a little bit of brush to the side of a case that would normally be, I guess, polished. And then, of course, you have a stainless steel bezel on here. So I believe this is a stainless steel insert. This gets a black dial with white markings, and then, of course, applied indices. Those applied indices are filled with a patinaed lume. So are the hands. And then you have a red counterbalance on the second hand. I'm not sure if there's any lume on there. We will do a lume shot. And you have fence post hands on here. They are sort of wide fence post hands, and they are skeletonized towards the center. And then you have a little bit of lume on the ends of each one of those hands. Like I mentioned, you do get applied indices. I'm not sure how liberally applied the lume, or if it is liberally applied at all. We'll take a look at the end of the video. The strap on here is beautiful. The strap is sort of a canvas strap. It's gray and black. It's a weave. It looks really good. I really like the strap on here. Flipping it over, there's leather on the underside. I think it's a 21 millimeter lug span, which is a little bit annoying. And then you have a screwed in case back. Like I said, you get 300 meters of water resistance, so that is really good. Screwed in case back is obviously not a display case back, but you do have an engraving here. It just says Alpina. This is actually inspired by a cargo ship that was registered in Switzerland during World War II, and they named this specific version of the Seastrong after that ship. It's called the Calanda. I believe I am pronouncing that right. And it was very important to the Swiss because it was one of the ships that actually brought supplies to Switzerland. They were neutral, so it was very important for them to get supplies. So this was, you know, sort of inspired by that ship, and they named it after that ship. Pretty cool. Now I'm going to do very quick measurements on here. I'm going to do this at the bezel. So the bezel and the case are around the same size. So it's around 42 millimeters. But if you grab it at the case, there are slight crown guards. You might get a little bit of a different reading. Yeah, so 42.4, somewhere around there. But I think it wears like a 41 millimeter watch. The lug to lug on here is very short. Like I said, it's almost like a cushion case. Not like a Panerai, but something a little bit different from a Panerai. But you do have very short lugs. You can see the lug to lug is 46.5, which is pretty short for a watch that's 41 millimeters. And you have a very large crown on here, 7.3 millimeters, very large. And inside you get essentially a Sellita SW200. So the thickness here is 11.9 millimeters. The movement is I believe they call it the AL-525. It's essentially a decorated and custom rotor version of a Sellita SW200. And actually I have another watch on my wrist that has the same movement in it, and I will show you. It has actually a display case back. It's not a dive watch, it's their Extreme, which is sort of their integrated bracelet watch. So I'm going to show you that in just a second. Very quickly, I'm going to throw this watch on my wrist, and then we will talk about price and do a lume shot. So very quickly, I have the Extreme from Alpina on my wrist. This is the Alpina or Alpiner. I'm not sure how you actually pronounce that. It's the Alpiner Extreme. So this is their integrated bracelet watch. It comes with a bracelet as well. The bracelet on here is awesome. This is the one on the strap, which is actually a very nice strap as well. So you have these screws that hold in the bezel, You have a textured dial, really good looking watch. But the movement here, it's the exact same movement that you get in the Seastrong. It's just a little bit of a custom rotor. It's basically a Sellita SW200 or an ETA 2824, I believe, but it's more than likely a Sellita movement. And you get a really nice custom rotor on here, which is black. Very nice. But here is the Seastrong on my 7.5 inch wrist. You can see this is a very good looking watch. A lot has to do with that strap. I have to admit, I love this strap. It is phenomenal. It's actually soft. It's thick, but it's not like hard. I've encountered many different recycled material straps, usually recycled plastics and stuff like that, and they are nowhere near as nice as this strap. This is a beautiful strap. It's really well made, and it's very soft. It's really not hard. It's nice and foldable. It's great. And there it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. Like I said, this is around a 41 millimeter watch. It's around 12 millimeters thick, and it gets 300 meters of water resistance. So that is actually very, very good. And actually the thickness is very good as well. Really good looking watch, very interesting design. Obviously, you know, you have to like this design. I do. I think it's a really good looking watch. Anyway, very quickly, a lume shot, and we'll talk about price during the lume shot. Well, there you go. You can see the lume that's on the indices is a little bit lighter than the rest of the lume. Obviously, the lume on the hands, very, very liberally applied and bright. It's the indices that aren't as bright, so I think that that could do for a little bit more lume. And there is no lume on the second hand. I do wish that there was just a little bit of lume on the second hand. You do have that triangle with a dot at the 12 o'clock, so there's a little bit of an orientation with that, which I think works really well. Price on this is $18.95. I think that's a pretty good price considering that you're getting the recycled steel and of course Sellita SW200 and really nice strap. Obviously it is an Alpina, so it's very well made. And overall, I think a very good looking watch with a pretty much original design, which is very often very hard to do. Anyway, tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I like this watch. I think it's really good looking. It's on the more expensive side, but I think it really does come together very well, and it's a very good looking watch. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you in the next video.